Hey y'all, welcome back to the Flint River Fresh Garden. We're going to talk a little bit about the different types of irrigation systems they use and the ways that you can use those to minimize risk. The first thing is that here we're on city water, but if we weren't, we would test our water to make sure that there's no detectable generic E. coli that's able to get onto the harvestable portion of our crops. And here in town, the city tests that water, and then Fredo goes and gets that water test once a year to make sure that the water is acceptable for use. One of the ways that they irrigate here is overhead with these wobbler systems. It's called a wobbler because it wobbles. And it's a good way to spread a lot of water fast. You'll often see farms doing this, especially when they're trying to get good germination. But once the crops are up, like eventually this bed will have greens in it, they move to drip irrigation to reduce their risk. That way they're not getting water onto the top of an edible portion of the crop, but directly to the soil. It's going straight to the roots, which is a good way to conserve water, but also reduce your risk. So here is the microjet sprinkler for the citrus tree. You can see it gives a nice, slow coverage for the roots of the tree. So it's really sinking in there. We're not wasting a lot of water. And it's gentle enough that it just feels nice on a hot Georgia day. The other good thing is that once my hand is here, I'm no longer feeling that water. So we do test this water. We're pretty sure it's free of pathogens, but just in case something happened, that lowers our risk because the water is not getting on the edible portion of the crop.
So this is like drip irrigation. So basically what it is, on these tapes here, we call this drip tape. And so every foot on this particular one, there's like an emitter. So these emitters will put water directly at the root, the base of the plant. And what I like to do for mine is I like to bury my drip tape for a couple reasons. Number one, of course, it puts it closer to where the roots of the plants and stuff are at. It also helps with evaporation. We're here in Southwest Georgia. So if you put water, you know, the minute the water comes out the hose, it has a tendency to go straight to the sky. So by putting it down underneath and burying it, puts it directly at the root base. Also, I like drip because it helps with containing the likelihood of not spreading diseases. Because a lot of diseases are spread through water and biological things happening. And so by putting it at the base, the fruits of the crops are above it and it's not getting cross-contaminated with the water system. And then also I like it as well because I can let it run for a while. It helps with fruit production, evaporation. Also, I like to bury it because we're out of the community garden space. And so we have the tendency of having animals that are thirsty looking for something to drink. And so by having it buried, it deters them from digging it up and things like that. So again, it's just a basic connector piece. I connect it to what's called like a fitting. So I get it onto the fitting, just tighten it up like that. And what I like to use is just a valve system. And the valve system just kind of helps because not everything needs the same amount of water at the same time. So just turning the valve system on like that. And if you look closely, you can see the water coming out the emitters. And then we just let it run. And that's just a basic introduction of what we call just drip irrigation. And again, it's just something that can utilize for conservation. And then the other piece too, that it doesn't allow for water to get everywhere. Water is directly in the spot where the plants are growing. So it also helps minimize the amount of weeds that you have to deal with in your garden space. And like I tell everybody, I'm a lazy man farmer. So I only want to do what I need to do in order to be productive and to be fruitful. So this is just a technique we use out here in our garden space. So again, this is Farmer Fredo. I'm checking in, checking out. Growing food is what I'm about. Peace.